Why is it that lately consumers have stopped buying into the whole high-end luxury persona? You might think it's just people complaining about high prices, but look closer. Beneath the surface, there is a war being fought. A war between value and sheer, unadulterated arrogance. Let's talk about a magical realism story straight from the business world. Our protagonist, the fruit assassin, the mentor of empty wallets, the one, the only, Pagoda. The story starts with their chairman, Mr. Yu. This is a man who apparently believes he is not just selling fruit, but is actually the professor of fruit for the entire population. Imagine the scene. He stands before the camera and drops a line so pretentious it belongs in a museum of bad ideas. He says, "Business is either exploiting consumer ignorance or educating consumers to be mature." Wow. When I heard that, I didn't see a CEO. I saw a chalkboard suddenly appearing next to a fruit stand offering a lecture series titled, "How to Properly Eat a Lychee on a $3,000 monthly salary." The spark that blew up this powder keg was simple: a fruit, or rather, a rotten one. Netizens started pointing out that walking into Pagoda is like walking into a robbery. A handful of fruit costs $100. People joked, "I make good money, but I can't afford to spit out the seeds." Normally, a business would apologize or offer a discount, but Mr. Yu, he doubled down. He went full professor mode. The phrase, "educating consumers," trended instantly. The comment section turned into a public audit of absurdity. Grapes labeled King Wong for $30 a bunch, more expensive than premium pork. 4 plums for $12, that's $3 a bite. A slice of watermelon priced like it's the Hermes of the agricultural world. One angry commenter summed it up perfectly. "I get lectured by my boss at work. I get lectured by my wife at home. And now I have to get re-educated just to buy an apple? Do you want this blessing? Because I don't." But if you think this is just about a CEO with a loose tongue, you're missing the point. That's like blaming the Titanic sinking on the ice being too hard. When people started digging into Pagoda, the so-called West Point Military Academy of the fruit world, they found the underwear underneath was dirtier than the floor. Their famous 3 no return policy, turns out it was a tool for psychological manipulation. Franchise owners were weeping, claiming the company forced all of the costs of these returns onto the individual stores. The franchisees were paying the tuition for the chairman's educational ideals. And then came the whistleblower report. Workers in Wuhan were caught on camera taking moldy overnight fruit, slicing off the rot, and repackaging it as fresh cut. So much for educating us on quality. They were training consumers to become microbiologists. Come on, kids, let's play Spot the Bacteria. Let's look at the financials, the horror movie part of the script. In 2023, they look sharp, billions in revenue. Flash forward to 2024, a swan dive off a cliff. Revenue plummeted, profits turned into massive losses. They are burning through money faster than a banana turns brown. Stores are closing at a rate of nearly 3 a day. The stock market voted with its feet. The share price crashed from $6 down to $1. Billions in market value evaporated. Gone. Just like the water weight in a dried out fruit basket. Where did they get the audacity to be fruit assassins? It's their model. 99% of their stores are franchises. Head office sits back, collects the franchise fees, takes a cut of the sales, and dumps all the risk on the store owner. And because fruit isn't consistent, sweet today, sour tomorrow, grading is often just done by eye. You might buy lychees for a premium price that came from the exact same truck as the cheap ones at the street market next door. The only difference? You paid for a plastic bag with a logo on it. But the straw that broke the camel's back wasn't the price. It was the shift in the battlefield. E-commerce giants like Pinduoduo and Hema came in swinging. Logistics improved. Suddenly, you could get blueberries from the farm to your table in 48 hours for half the price. Consumers woke up. We realized we don't need to pay a fruit tax to get good vitamins. Pagoda's 20-year-old fortress of good fruit must be expensive turned out to be as fragile as tissue paper. The most fatal wound, however, is the culture. We are tired of the daddy energy. We've seen the ice cream brands mocking us for being poor, the influencers telling us we don't work hard enough, and now the tech moguls and fruit professors treating us like children. It's a regression in management evolution. Even kindergarten teachers know you teach through games, not scolding. But these CEOs, they are addicted to the teacher persona. Maybe Chairman Yu thinks his real customers aren't you and me. Maybe his customer is the corporate procurement officer who needs to buy a gift basket and doesn't care about the price because it's not his money. It's the Louis Vuitton logic applied to a banana. But when you try to turn a grocery store into a Louis Vuitton, the only thing you get is regular people voting no with their transaction history. Some might say, but Starbucks educated us on coffee. IKEA educated us on furniture. Here is the difference. Starbucks doesn't call you a peasant for drinking instant coffee. IKEA doesn't mock you for not knowing how to use an Allen wrench. Real market education shows you a better view. It doesn't insult your shoes. When you sell a lychee for the price of a steak and the quality fails, that's not education. That is the emperor's new clothes. And this emperor loves to critique everyone else's fashion sense. Look at the industry. The big three of fruit are collapsing. Executives are being chased by debt collectors. It looks like a business failure, but it's actually the coffin of traditional retail being pried open by the crowbar of the internet. So is there hope for Pagoda? Only if they stop burning money on celebrities and start fixing their supply chain. Stop lecturing the customers and start stopping the rot in the boxes. Stop the inner fighting and learn transparency. Consumers don't hate high prices. We hate the arrogance of being treated like suckers. Don't treat us like students. Our tuition fees don't cover your bad fruit. A high-end persona isn't a moat. It's a tightrope, and there are plenty of competitors waiting with the knife below for you to fall. As for us, we're just regular folks. We don't need a boutique to buy an apple. We don't need to look at a chairman's face to eat a melon. And the next time someone tries to give you a patronizing lecture while taking your money, gently hand them a mirror. Ask them who really needs the education. The boss strides out with pride so grand and wide. He shouts, high tech, high price, with nowhere to hide. But franchisees are weeping, tears dried in the dust, while moldy spots are scooped away, betraying all our trust. Millions lost in daily burn. The doors are slamming shut. The three no lies unraveling, a pain within the gut. The fruit kings gathered round to watch the empire crash. Stocks and bonds go up in smoke, turning into ash. He sought to teach us lessons, to mold the unruly crowd. Now 80 billion vanishes like a passing summer cloud. That is all for this episode. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.